Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Table Talk. I'm your host, Jake Combs, and tonight we're going to be looking at some of the newest releases from Necromunda, specifically the House of Shadow book and the special operatives for the Delaque. Excuse me. If you couldn't tell, I am still fighting off a cold. That's why we didn't actually have this episode last week. So we're going to go ahead and open up the models first. Now, originally I did have a much bigger episode planned for today, but because of the cold and the fact that I'm sure none of you out there really want to listen to me cough all night, we're postponing some of those items for later on in the month. Next week is going to be going over the new kill team only. And then I believe we also will be doing another kill team related item that date as well. I have to double check to see what the embargo dates are. But if I'm wrong, it'll just be kill team, and then the week after is when we'll do everything else. So looking at these models themselves, they do not look like our classic Delaque style of characters. I mean, we do have a lot of the robes going on, but they look more like something out of like a science fiction horror film than the more spy masterclass members of the Underhive. So inside we have 6 bases. So looking at the back, it looks like there should be, there's a 7th one. So we got all the bases. We have our several page assembly guide. Now what surprises me with his recent this release is, which I believe you can pick it up now. It's no longer for pre-order. If I remember correctly, it came out last Saturday, or it's coming out this Saturday. I can't remember which. Excuse me. We have our clear flying kind of extensions, if you will. And then we have a total of 2 sprues. Now, looking at them, both sprues are exactly the same, which means the Piscean Spectre, that we at least have 2 bodies for it. So definitely some additional pieces that will be going in the bits box. And I mean, at a glance, it would appear that we have enough pieces really to make a couple of them, and we would just need an extra base. But I'm willing to bet that the rules are going to allow us to only take 1 in our gang, unless of course we're playing like a huge gang battle, which would be the exception, but not typical. Now, since both sprues are the same, we're just going to be looking at the 1. Now, Delaque typically don't have a lot of detail. You know, it's just the coats and the faces are really all you're going to notice on them, other than like the weapons that they have extending out. But the coats cover a lot of detail. These coats that they're wearing in robes do have a bit more detail than we're used to seeing with Delaque. And then the Psychoteric Worms and the Piscean Spectre and then the Psygeist especially, those pieces are more mechanical, and the mechanics of them definitely have a lot more detail to them. Now with the Spectre, it definitely looks like it's kind of a hybrid of some bioorganic and some technology mixed together. So definitely some very cool stuff. It gives a very Nurgle look, if you ask me. So you could very easily use these bits to do some conversions and create something Nurgle or even just expanding on the general look, and making maybe a Nurgle cult. Now, from what my friends have told me, that also were able to look into House of Shadow, excuse me, that the Delaque are more or less worshiping the 40K version of Cthulhu. Now, as you can see, this is still wrapped in plastic, so I have not gone into it myself, so I can't corroborate that information just yet. It will take some time to read it before I can say with any certainty that that's the case. But the rumor is that they essentially worship a underwater deity of some sort that is, very malevolent, and more or less wants to destroy the world. And so, with that being the case, it definitely gives some Cthulhu vibes. The fact that they are always wearing these robes, definitely kind of give the look of cultists. So, I mean, if you're looking for, like a chaos-themed army in general, and you want to add more cultists and have them be more original, you definitely would want to take some pieces, some bits from Delaque, because they've already got that kind of general aesthetic already down. But even if my information is incorrect on that, visually, I mean, you still can make them look like that quite easily without having to do much effort. Really just changing colors more than anything else to make them stand out with a specific chaos god. So open it up. We go through the lore of the house itself, some of the gangs of legend, house enclaves, as well as a gang list to help you set it up. Different credits for different equipment lists for Master Shadows and Phantoms, the Nocghoul. So that way you can take a bit of whatever you want in your gang. And then here we have a bounty hunter called the Master of Whispers. Looks pretty cool. Kind of reminds me of the Phantasm from the Batman animated special Mask of the Phantasm. Sorry again. But definitely a lot of cool stuff in here. Can't wait to really dive into this and take a look at everything that's going on. Now, an interesting one is Servant of the Silent Ones, kind of a hybrid worm slash robotic tentacle thing that is feasting on looks like human flesh, and be interested to see what people come up with to make one of these, or if Forge World is going to come out with a actual model of them eventually. I would expect sooner than later if they're going to. And then we go through just the various rules, and then even some painted examples, and then some more details on the specific weaponry that Delaque like to use. And now this is the last of the already revealed house books. Now, according to the roadmap for Necromunda, we are going to be getting another house or group book, as well as some models. Definitely looking forward to seeing what those are going to be. I personally am hoping that we're either going to see some scavies or some rat skins, or a book that basically covers both of them, because they are kind of more of the underutilized groups that are less far-ranging than some of the big houses. and probably open things up to allowing for more groups like them. And that's my personal hope. I have no information from anyone saying one way or the other, so definitely don't quote me on that. I have heard rumor that it's actually going to be a new house all entirely. Sorry. Whether that's true or not, I have no idea. Because like I said, they have not told me anything either way. But I am still very interested to see what they've got coming for us. This is by far one of my favorite intellectual properties from Games Workshop. Now, one thing I did forget to mention at the beginning of the video is that both of these items were sent to us by Games Workshop for the purpose of sharing it with you guys and talking about it. Now, while it guarantees that I'm going to talk about it, it does not guarantee a specific opinion, because if you guys have watched me, you guys will know that if I like something, I'm going to tell you that I like it. If I don't like something, I'm going to tell you I don't like it, regardless of if I had to pay for it myself or somebody sent it to me. It's one of the things that you can guarantee when you watch one of our videos is that we're going to be honest, regardless of who purchased it. Now, with Necromunda in mind, I've been playing a lot of the new Hired Gun game, and was quite disappointed by that. It was actually something that I had picked up myself. But while playing it, the gameplay is good. It has a really good story. It gets a bit repetitive if you're looking to get all of the achievements or challenges or whatever. But it's not essential. And it is a definitely engaging story. It's very interesting. The video, the cinematics, the graphics are really good. Now, there's a lot of issues with some of the systems bogging down, some glitching and things like that that can occur with some of the bigger games. But overall, it was really good. Now, my biggest disappointment with the game is that we only got to see really 3 of the gangs. We saw Orlok, we saw Goliath, and we saw Escher. We didn't see any of the others. I mean, there was mention of them, like you could run missions for Delaque or Van Sar, but otherwise they were not in the game whatsoever. But there were actually Gene Stealer Cult though, which kind of was a little weird. It fit with the story, is all I'll say on that, but it definitely out of place as far as the gang feel, because it was just kind of more of something you stumble onto, and dealing with them, there was a lot of room for the other gangs to be introduced, but they never showed up, and so I was really disappointed by that. I do hope that we get some DLC later that introduces them to the game. I doubt it will happen, but it could. But it's just something that I recently discovered. I actually finished the game this past week, and do plan on writing a review about it. But it was missing a lot of the gangs that I wanted to see. Like, I was hoping we were going to run into some redemptionists down in the Underhive and have to deal with them, or somebody with flamethrowers in general, but there was none of that. So, just something to keep in mind. I will be starting the Underhive, I believe it's Underhive Wars is the name of it, for the Xbox as well. So I'll be doing that one soon, and so I'll be writing a review on that one as well. Also, again, picked up by myself, and it was not supplied to me. But again, as always, my opinions are always my own, and regardless of whether somebody sent me something or not, does not change even one little bit about my opinion. Because if somebody sent me something and I thought it was garbage, I will tell you that it is garbage, and I will explain why I thought so. But at the same time, though, I know a lot of work goes into making these items, and if there was something I didn't like about these models, but I can see some value in it for some other people because of just playstyle difference, I will mention that as well. So just things to keep in mind as far as the future of the show. But I'm going to go ahead and stop talking now, or at least wrap this up, because I can feel another coughing fit coming on. So thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you all next week, where we will be going over Kill Team, or at least the new Kill Team specifically. So thanks for watching. Good night.